Hey guys, welcome to another lesson of Pro Teachers Noob. Today I have with me just chilling, chilling right now, Eric.
What's going on?
And today we're going over a very obscure Spider-Man book. In fact, so obscure that the scans I'm using, I do have my own copy, by the way, are ones that were clearly taking photos of the pages because you'll see forwarded creases in these scans. But it's the best I can get. It's not on Marvel Unlimited or anything, but what is so special about this? Well, as you see by the title, it's the reunion of Stan Lee and John Romita Sr. Spider-Man Kingpin to the death.
So what do Tom DeFalco and Dan Green have to do
Tom
with this?
DeFalco was the plotter, and basically he plotted it all. Romita drew off of the plot, and then Stan Lee scripted it.
And Dan Green?
The inker.
Oh, okay.
I'm Dan Green. I still remember Linkar doing a joke of, and yes, he had Little Karibo do it. I'm Dan Green, voice actor extraordinaire. Apparently, I ink comic books too. No, different Dan Green. They're not the same Dan Green.
Okay.
But yeah, Spider-Man and Kingpin. Even though Kingpin only factors a little bit into the story. I guess Spider-Man Daredevil would have been too generic.
Yeah, but it makes more sense. I don't know.
True, but let's just dive right in, shall we? See right there, Stan Lee script, John Romita pencils, Tom DeFalco plot.
Okay, I see the rest. Thanks.
But yeah, watch it, lunkhead. Drop that crate and I'll rip your throat out. What's the big deal? What's in here anyway? Watch this, man. All gold and silver and dials with diamonds in them. Yeah, so break one of them and we'll break your head. Each one of these babies is worth more than a sow. Hey, what the? A light coming from on the roof up there. That ain't no ordinary light. I remember seeing it once, just before I got sent to the slammer. It's Spider-Man. He's just standing there. Why don't he say something? What do you want? A blasted talk show host? Let's get him. Maybe if we give him some of the watches, we got enough to go around. No way. We're 3 against 1. His crabby webbing can't stop us. But it isn't webbing that the wallcrawler fires. It's something far more lethal. Cold, deadly lead. When the priests arrive, there's nothing to see except 3 bullet-riddled corpses.
What happened?
I tell you, the terrorist Zoltaro must be stopped. What makes him so dangerous, Ben? Interpol says he's planning to seize a new weapon, codenamed Death Arrow. If he gets his hand on it, no one on the Earth will be safe. I've got a newspaper to run, Ben. Let Interpol worry about Zoltaro. As soon as some info turns up, we'll be sure to print it. Call for you on line 2, Mr. Robertson. You sitting down, Robbie? Spider-Man just shot 3 felons to death. Of course I'm sure. The bodies are right here. Forget Zoltaro. Think of the power Spider-Man has. If he's turned killer, we're all in danger. Of course, who's over there?
Peter.
Even gang leaders sometimes relax over an innocent game of cards. How's the family, Joe? Everyone's fine. Suddenly, Spider-Man! Are you out of your mind? We weren't doing anything. He's off the wall. Stop him while we can. But the attacker strikes first. Without a word, the masked intruder web swings off into the night, leaving a scene of unprovoked carnage. Spider-Man's turned killer. He's got to be stopped. Spider-Man Berserk, Spider-Man Massacre, Spider-Man or Punisher. I knew it. I was right all along. What are you saying, Robbie?
Okay, we're interrupting each other there.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I said our Punisher. You didn't hear me?
No, I did hear that. Sorry.
Okay, am I coming in clearly?
Yes. Sorry.
Are you going to read through this whole thing? Because we got another book after this.
You're right. Don't worry. Dude, this is a short book, actually.
I know it's short, but 52 isn't exactly what I consider short.
Actually, it's less than 52. A bunch of them are art stuff.
Oh.
I still can't believe it, Jonah. He's never used guns before. Never killed before. Hey, I never had a tattoo before. Doesn't mean I can't get one tomorrow.
Not the same thing, Mr. Bad Haircut.
Someone broke into the jewelry store. Well, basically, we see Spidey going in there, but of course, everyone's heard the news, so they run. Run like hell. Like, run for it before he starts shooting. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll find a cop. Jail's better than getting shot. You gotta protect us. They'd rather be arrested than face me. There's something mighty strange going on here. All those other shootings. What?
Wait a minute. As soon as you said he was at the jewelry store, I think I heard police sirens outside. My window was open, so I could hear what's going on out there.
All those other shootings. Everyone says it was me who did them, but I don't even own a gun. Someone's setting me up. But who? And why? Could it be the newly returned Norman Osborn again? This is around the time after the Clone Saga.
Oy.
The whole city's turned against me. Even the cops are shooting at me on sight. Everyone thinks I'm a wanton killer. Uh-oh, spider senses are tingling. As we see Johnny coming after him. What?
No, I was like, Johnny.
Yep. Cap.
Oh, no, not Cap.
And that's just a warning, wallcrawler. Give yourself up. There's no sanctuary for a superhero who's turned bad. My luck's turned to form, and true to form. Yeah, my luck's running true to form. Every costume curvator is in town. What? Cavorter is in town is after me, and I'd be after me too if their accusations were true. The next hours are a living nightmare for the hounded web swinger as he's attacked by a host of superheroes. And the most ironic part of it all is he can't fight back. They're just doing their job. They think I'm a menace.
Rogue Storm, you know I love you, but leave him alone.
Wolverine. Luke.
Is that Cyclops or another X-Men?
That's another X-Men. I think that's X-Man.
Ironically.
All things must come to an end, including those great examples of how John Romita draws our superheroes. I barely escaped with my life. Lucky for me that none of them are really killers, but Peter Parker better take the place of Spider-Man until I can prove my innocence. Hey, Mac, see anything of that? Anything of that crummy wallcrawler weasel anywhere around? No, I haven't. Well, if you do, be sure to call the Fantastic Four. Here? And now you can brag to all your friends that you actually talk to the ever-loving blue-eyed thing.
I love Ben. I want to preface this by saying I love Fantastic Four, and I love the way Ben talks sometimes.
Yep. I'm really proud of myself, having to lie to one of the greatest heroes of all. Okay, Parker, you're going to clear up this mess no matter what it takes. As we then see Kingpin, the underworld is in disarray. Rival gangs fighting the law and each other without any viable leadership. I have absented myself for too long. It's time to return to seize the reins of power. What are you doing here? I've come to kill you. The Kingpin has no time for jokes. You won't think it's funny when... Quite right. I don't think it's funny. The carpet's just been clean. Ha! I want an explanation, Dr. Mandela. I thought your death arrow jug would keep him alive longer than that. I'm sorry, Mr. Fisk. The death arrow, when given to your fake Spider-Man, should increase their strength for at least 6 hours before it kills them. Remove that carry-on. He's despoiling my room's decor. This one was too weak. Some who are stronger can actually take 2 doses of death arrows before they succumb. Spare me your mundane details. We must concentrate on producing enough of the drug. The terrorist Zoltaro will pay a fortune for the lethal death arrow, and that fortune will enable me to gain control of the underworld once more. So he's behind the Spider-Men.
I should have known.
And then we see stuff with Matt and Foggy as Foggy's aunt, who they've been working with, basically are thinking that this is too big of a case. I believe Daredevil will know how to contact Spider-Man, and you're friendly with Daredevil. If he's alive, Spider-Man will need a lawyer. It'll be a bigger case than OJ. I want that case. So, yeah, of course, Matt heads on out there. And Rosalind's right. I'm the one person who can reach Spider-Man. And I'm the one person who can't believe he's turned bad, despite the evidence. Didn't expect to go into action so soon. Wherever Park and Peter is, he'll be hurt and lonely, and he'll need a friend. And that's where Daredevil comes in.
I love the art here on Daredevil, how he changes in and starts swinging.
Yeah, again.
And this is classic Daredevil to me.
Great Romita.
Vintage, I should say.
Right.
I haven't read too much Daredevil.
We've subjected you to enough tension for a while. Let's visit a more tranquil scene. It's
Thanks,
breakfast
Dan.
time in the humble home where Anna Watson lives with her niece Mary Jane and MJ's husband Peter. Is something wrong, Aunt Anna? Yes, dear. It's that awful Spider-Man. I remember how poor May Parker was always terrified of him, and now I know she was right. But we haven't heard Spider-Man's side of the story. What side can there be? All those horrible shootings. Petey, how will you ever clear Spider-Man's name? I don't know, honey. But this is America, Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. Yeah, but tell that to all the cops and superheroes trying to hunt me down. While walking, Peter wonders which of his enemies is trying to frame him. And if you think we'll ruin John's great artwork with more, let me find what the
This is why we get
with more copy. Forget it. This is phenomenal.
This is Stan's sense of humor coming.
But this is great artwork.
Yeah, look at all that. Hobgoblin, Doom, Doom,
The Sin Eater.
There's Doc Ock, Kingpin, and Mysterio, I think, in the back.
Yeah, I think. No, I don't know who that is.
Whatever that mummy is.
And sudden thought, someone ought to give us a no prize. Here's an entire superhero yarn with the female fully dressed. Oh! Bird stand, bird!
This was the 90s when...
Again, I think that's Stan telling us how he felt about current comics.
Okay.
Daredevil, you know I sensed your presence. If you're after me like the others, relax. I'm here to help. Tell me, did you shoot those men? Of course I didn't. Using his super sensitive hearing like a built-in lie detector, Daredevil monitors Peter's pulse rate and realizes his friend is telling the truth. Okay, Webhead, you're not alone any longer. What do you mean? I mean, hop into your spider thread. We've got some butt to kick. Together. I hear you, Hornhead. Loud and clear. As we see Spidey and Daredevil tossing these guys around. Okay, Buttercup, tell me again how no one's going to push you around. Stop it! I'll talk! Great. I love good conversation. The word on the street says someone's importing heavy hired muscle. Name, Cuddles. Give me a name. Oh, gee, Stan's witty dialogue.
Yes.
But we see, of course, Jonah wants to focus more on Spidey, whereas Ben wants to focus on the Zoltaro story.
Right.
Of course, faster, Spidey. Hey, no point breaking the sound barrier. Whoa, the guy's blind and I'm not going fast enough for him.
I'm just picturing like you're all Christopher Barnes and Josh Keaton in my head while Spidey's doing all these clips.
Right. Just because you always see this in low-budget movies doesn't mean it can't happen in real life. The abandoned warehouse. And sure enough, they hear all the people down there. So they come in and busting them as they're all getting shot up with the death arrow. They're stronger than they should be. Must have been the stuff they were injected with. And glad I'm wearing my belt camera. I'll snap visual proof that others in my costume did the shooting. You won't get out of here alive. Built-in artillery where his web shooter should be. Wonder who dreamed that up. But have you noticed something struck Matt in the arm?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he got nicked by some of it.
Uh-oh.
And as soon as he looks away and looks back, he's gone. He's gone into the rage.
Oh, no.
Mandela, nobody barges here uninvited. I had to, Kingpin. We were attacked by Spider-Man and Daredevil. Spider-Man? He should have been destroyed by now. As for Daredevil, I could deal with him anywhere, anytime. But you sniveling toady, how did you escape the attack of two superheroes? How do I know you weren't allowed to escape? How do I know you weren't followed? He doesn't know, and that's just how I wanted it. Daredevil! No need for the intro, Porky. I already know my name. Arrogant costume clod! You dare match your prowess against me? I can crush a dozen like you before breakfast. And then this'll be duck soup for you, Tubby, because there's only one of me. But here's a flash for you. Breakfast time's over. The potion's antidote must be among these bottles somewhere. Uh-oh. And why are they all having convulsions? It's the potion. After making him super strong, it destroys him, and Daredevil has it in his blood. This is madness. No one can knock the Kingpin off his feet. Stop blubbering, fat man. I'm just getting started. You must have taken some of the Death Arrow potion, but you're still no match for me. Once you're crushed and I seize the formula to sell the formula to Zoltaro, I'll have money enough to become once again Kingpin of Crime. You and the world's deadliest terrorist, huh? A marriage made in heaven. But you know something, Cubo? It's time to start thinking divorce. You talk too much, masked man, but more importantly, you're weakening. The Death Arrows potion only lasts so long. I don't need any potion to handle you. Perhaps not, but there's one other fact you should know. When the potion wears off, you don't revert back to your normal self. You grow increasingly weaker and weaker, as I'm sure you've noticed. He's helpless. Kill him, Kingpin, while you have the chance. Not yet, Mandela. We'll give him another dose of the potion to see how long it takes before it destroys him. Spidey gets some of the antidote, calls up Ben, and tells him he has info on Zoltaro, and then said he'll be there to take photos. Obviously, they're kind of speeding this along because they only have so much to do in the story.
Well, it's kind of like how they were back in the Silver Age. They managed to get it all in one issue.
Right. Of course, he gets shot for a moment. Can't blame him for firing. They think I'm a killer. But as soon as they hold over to the docks, and so the merciless Kingpin finally meets the deadly Zoltaro. Not quite the same as Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
Dr.
Neither
Livingston.
man takes his.
Sorry, I got into this. Dr. Livingston. Dr. Livingston.
Neither man takes his eyes off the other. Neither man speaks as Zoltaro's money is exchanged for the Kingpin's potion. So thick is the aura of evil, it can almost be felt. Let me see, Ben. Perfect vantage point. But where's Parker with his camera? Now, Mandela, give Daredevil a second shot. He will live just long enough to destroy Zoltaro for us. Then we'll have the money, plus the potion back again. This is why I am, and shall always be, the Kingpin. But the crime lord has no monopoly on deceit. Boom! Go back. We will regain my bomb-proof case. Zoltaro gives money to no one. He blasted the Kingpin's car. I've got to radio the police. If only Parker had gotten it on film. Farewell, Kingpin. One last decadent, imperious pig. You did it, Zoltaro. Now with the Death Arrow, nothing can stop us. Well, perhaps one thing. A newly revived fighting Max and Scarlet Garb figure, striking like thunder with battle-honed fury. A roaring, raging, unstoppable Daredevil.
Give him heck, Matt.
Yep, Daredevil, fighting like a madman. The Death Arrow hasn't weakened him yet. I'll even the odds a bit. Not that he seems to need it. Spider-Man, what are you doing here? The way he snarled at me. Like we're enemies. The Death Arrow, it's affected him. Gotta give him the antidote before it's too late. Maybe it's already too late. Let the fools fight. I'll still get away with the priceless potion. That look in his eyes. He's out of control. Doesn't know what he's doing. You came to stop me, but no one can stop Daredevil. No one! The tough thing is, I gotta hurt him and fight him without hurting him. Hey, I'm finally getting lucky. He's weakening. But that's not lucky for him. It means the Death Arrow's in its final stages. If he doesn't get the antidote now, he's had it. You're not fighting some stumble bomb. The vial. If I lose it, I can beat a dozen like you.
No, Matt.
Speed, don't fail me now.
Please don't fail him.
Who are you? Why are you fighting me? What's happening? I hate what I have to do, but every second counts. No way I could have done this if he were the old Daredevil. I can hardly feel his pulse. He's barely breathing. If I'm too late, no, I can't be. I can't.
No, please.
Speaking of things that
and the Kingpin survives, even though but his clothes are a mess.
But the bomb, you were in the car. I stood outside the car. You see, Zoltaro, I never trusted you. Trust? I spit on your trust. I need no bomb to finish you when I can use my own two hands. You'll have use of them no longer. Nobody double crosses the Kingpin.
Oh.
And he dumped the potion too.
Oh, wow.
See, he's ready to use his own two hands, and what does the Kingpin do? He does the same thing. Spider-Man, I saw the whole thing. I phoned the cops. You won't get away with attacking Daredevil. Shucks, I thought I'd committed the perfect crime. If you want to make yourself useful, get some medics over here. Old Hornhead's going to need medical attention. First you injure them, then you treat them? Is that it? Believe in what you want, but here's the antidote for the death arrow. Daredevil's starting to come around. He'll clue you in when he recovers. Till then, don't take any wooden web fears.
Wait,
Any wooden webs here?
Yeah.
Minutes later, since Spider-Man didn't attack you, it was my fault. Let's go, Mandela. Move it! Looks like you got yourself a scoop, mister. Yeah, if only I had the photos to go with it. I am no criminal. I am a doctor, a scientist. I am innocent. Sure, our jails are full of innocent people, just like you. What a story. Better record it while it's fresh in my mind. The body of the terrorist Zoltaro was just discovered by... So, Zoltaro bought it. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. You're lucky, man. You had enough death arrow to kill a horse. Good thing I'm not a horse. Only I had photographic evidence of what I saw. Parker, you're too late. You just blew the year's biggest photo op. Yes, again, mister. I snapped it all from behind Zoltaro's limo. Son, and there's hope for you yet.
What's more? I think you missed it.
Oh, yeah. What's more, this role shows proof that Spider-Man's innocent. Son, there's hope for you yet. Got it won. Can't wait till Jameson gets this story. Maybe when he sees those pics, he'll finally get off Spider-Man's back. Peter, we've got to talk. I owe you big time, mister. If you hadn't reached me with that antidote, come on, that just evens up the scope. Anyway, it's a perfect wrap-up. Not quite. Kingpin's gone. Sometimes you win, and sometimes you don't. When you're the Kingpin, you play the odds. Each new battle makes me stronger, wiser. So next time, I'll win. The end. And here's all the different sketchbooks and artwork they worked on.
Nice.
Ooh. For years, when asked who's my favorite character to draw, I say Daredevil. When asked which characters I want to use in the Kingpin special, the first one after Spider-Man was Daredevil. So this was always Kingpin first, and then Spider-Man, Daredevil afterwards.
I see.
Oh, nice.
It's like looking at the storyboards.
Oh! Yeah, some outros from both of them, and yeah, so what did you think?
Don't take this 2 thumbs way, way up.
I mean, not bad for a short story, right?
Not too bad, no.
Yeah, I mean, the artwork is what sells it most of all, right? I mean, I think he's handles Daredevil better than Spidey in this, if you ask me.
Debatable, but I can certainly see why you think that.
Yep, and Kingpin, but why was this called Spider-Man Kingpin? Kingpin didn't, in fact, have much into it.
Yes, he did. It was his
No. I meant appearance-wise.
And it was his lingering threat.
True, but
sometimes the bad guy doesn't show up until the end in some of these stories. So
that's true. Although, like I say, my favorite part had to be when the heroes were coming after him. Just seeing him draw all those heroes. Even seeing Ben.
I know.
And again, Stan didn't miss a beat.
No.
And this was not long after Romita had stopped doing the Spider-Man comic, the newspaper comic strip.
Oh, really?
But yes, you know who ended up working on that the longest? Who? Stan's brother, Larry.
Oh, Larry Lieber.
He drew that for up until 2018, and then it barely lasted that much longer. Basically, he retired around the time his brother died.
That figures.
And then Roy Thomas wrote it for the last couple of months before they dropped the whole book, or the whole strip. Yeah, but so overall, I mean, what would you give this? It's like, it was a simple story, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but some simple stories came out of that kind of era. Yeah. That they were trying to go for.
This felt like a lost issue, didn't it?
Kind of.
Of their original run, I mean.
Yeah. It felt like it could have been made in I don't know, 1970 or something like that.
Definitely. I mean, Jonah was Jonah.
Finally.
Like I said, I loved Stan. It was the narration I liked the best, especially just that stuff like, like we subjected you to enough tensions, or whoa, if women are fully dressed, or let's not take away from John's great artwork.
That's every time I read the text in the old Silver Age comics, I'm always hearing Stan's narration.
That's why I was trying to do my best Stan for this.
Well, you could have asked me. Hey, face front, true believers.
Yeah, but I was actually reading it, dude, so I knew what was coming.
I could read the actually, the text was easier to read on this one than it was in other comics you showed me.
True, but
Hey,
yeah, I
it's
mean,
kinda
I would
weird.
give this a strong 8 out of 10.
I give it a 9.
A 9? Nice. But yeah, I mean, overall, just great short little story, and especially at a point when this was around the time of the Byrne era of Spider-Man, when he was on, and that was a rough point. This was
They're
the stuff that,
polarizing.
yeah, this was a very rough point. It was after the Clone Saga, but things were still in their rough patch. It was well before Paul Jenkins was on Spectacular Spider, or Peter Parker Spider-Man, or when JMS came on. This was well before that.
Yes, I've met J. Michael Straczynski, folks, and asked him a couple of questions. Funny guy in real life.
Yep. This was in 97. That's when this came out.
Right.
So, yeah, that's all we've got to say on this one. We'll see you all on the next one. Thank you all for joining. We'll see you then. Take care.